The Sporlan division of Parker Hannifin proudly sponsors the Advanced Refrigeration Podcast. There are a lot of questions surrounding the transition to A2L refrigerants and a lot of talking heads disseminating nebulous answers. But when your technician is face-to-face with the first A2L transition project, where do you turn for real-world answers about this specific job? Parker Sporlan's Virtual Engineer is an innovative online design tool to size and select the correct components for climate control and refrigeration applications. Get your A2L system flow and component selection answers in 3 simple steps. Enter your application details, size, and select products, then download your project files. It's that easy. Try it at absolutely no cost. Visit sporlan.com and navigate to the Resource Center. Parker Sporlan, leading the charge.
And tribulations of what you've been doing. Does that work?
Yeah, you look angry.
You should see Bob. Bob's beat up. He's like, I'm out of shape.
You guys are all both out of shape.
Oh, I'm getting better. And then I just got more things for training. So, I'm down to 140, 47, 146 or 246.
Wait, I was at 146. What are you, like an anorexic chick at this point?
I'm going to try.
Like,
good afternoon, everybody. What? You're such a dick.
Poor Dylan.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Advanced Refrigeration Podcast. You're the host, Brett Wetzel and Kevin Compass. Coming live from a soup bowl. It's freaking humid here in Louisiana. Like, it's pretty ridiculous.
It's pretty nasty here right now. It's supposed to be the hottest day of the summer tomorrow, so not good. I've been doing like random controller changeouts all week, so
100 degrees and 85% relative humidity.
That's disgusting.
No, it's awful. Absolutely awful. Like it feels like you're walking in Louisiana. Okay.
Yeah. I spent the whole beginning of my week in an ice cream factory.
Not bad.
No, yeah, except for like me, like that's my thing. I really like ice cream, and I would have been a diabetic if I didn't leave there. So we were doing RMCC change. I've actually found another RMC. Every time I say it's going to be the last one pops up. This one was from 1990, like the early 90s. I would say like 95, maybe 96.
That was before I graduated high school.
It was old. This was the oldest RMCs I've ever seen.
Damn.
Yeah.
So how is that? Where you weren't able to convert that file? Were you?
No. So this thing has lost its program like multiple times, and this was, of course, like a hacked up rack. Do you need to pause?
Yeah. Hold on one sec. Yeah. So that's what that is.
Oh.
Anyway, sorry. So RMCC old. So no way to convert it, I guess you said.
No. This thing had lost its program so many times at this point. Like the rack is a 30-year-old mess in the factory in a basement. So thank God I don't even know how to describe it. They filled out an entire book of all the set points and what everything was. Yeah. So there was a book, like an old school RMC like book, sensor control 42 is actually this, because there's no way to name half those. So so it was like, I was like, oh shit. So like we figured out, we using the book, we were able to figure out like about half of it, and then we had to sit there and trace wires for everything else.
Not bad for being 30 years old.
No, so there's a lot of wire tracing to figure out what relays were and what inputs were, and a lot of like random sensors and stuff, like for these ice cream machines that were from like the 60s, like barrel like custard machines from the 60s. It was pretty cool.
Damn.
Yeah, awesome ice cream. But yeah, so this is the first time I messed around with the email alarms and setting that stuff up. And the SMS, the email alarms is pretty easy once I got the setup guide.
Mm-hmm.
The Gmail works pretty good. The SMS texting is where it turned into a shit show.
Gotcha.
So Verizon is like one of the only ones left that'll the SMS texting works on.
So it's weird. I thought you could basically take like any email, any phone number and put, if you know the carrier, go like at Verizon.com or something.
So apparently like T-Mobile and AT&T dropped that.
Oh.
So Verizon is one of the only ones left that still has that capability. Because Verizon, when we were testing it, we were doing it on my phone, and it worked fine. I got the text every time we trigger an alarm. I would get a text message with everything, and it worked fine. But I'm pretty sure it's just Verizon left.
Gotcha.
For sure, T-Mobile got rid of it. But no, we were messing around with that and some of the custom alarming. And then like setting up alarm groups, so only a warm freezer or like the rack down called out at night, and they only got other alarms during the day. Like they could do some of this stuff. And then we did some custom stuff for them. They had a lot of dipping cabinets where they just shut them down on Sundays for 12 hours and let them thaw out. So we sat there and we figured out some like defrost strategies for that, like using time schedules to shut down stuff for extended amount of time, once a time, so that we could do that. And we did some push buttons inside E3, so that way we could take that and do overrides. So if they want to shut down like a dipping cabinet, they could shut it down. Or if they wanted to shut down a tumbler machine for a certain amount of time, they could shut it down.
So via an input or via like somehow else?
We were doing enough time schedules and inputs. So like every Sunday they shut down like they have a little restaurant part of it, like where they serve out of fresh ice cream out of. So like they have a lot of dipping cabinets. So Sundays they clear them out and then they let them thaw out. So we did that. And then all the custard machines where they're doing like the tumblers and everything else, those they tear down every night. So they shut down from the time they wrap up production till the time they start in the morning. So then we were also floating the rack way up because they need to run like a minus 30 suction when they're making custard.
Gotcha.
So when we're not making custard, we're floating the rack up to, I think it was like a plus or a minus 20, just because we're just maintaining freezers and dipping cabinets at that point. So
Gotcha.
We were floating the rack like 10, 12 pounds, using set point shifts when they're making ice cream in production and when they're not making ice cream. That's kind of cool. Like a little job messing around with that.
Neat. I'm sorry, I was doing something, trying to bring something up. Let's see if I can do this from here. Because if we're going to talk about this, I want to be able to visually see it, if that makes sense. So this might be a trip. Let's see if I can accomplish this. But yeah. So what do you want to talk about on the E3? Like some of the stuff that you had to do versus ever?
We should go over like the time schedules.
Oh, yeah? Okay. All right, so
they're a little weird compared to the E2.
All right, let me see if I can do this with my screen of flickering. This is so infuriating. I want to punch everything right now. Window. Oh, that was loud. Maybe is it this? Nope, that's not it. Okay, so remove. What?
Nothing.
What are you laughing at?
You're very agitated today.
I just...
Should we talk about monoblocks?
No, we don't have to talk about monoblocks. I don't want to talk about monoblocks. I really don't want to talk about monoblocks.
Oh my God, it worked. They actually worked good.
Yeah, so actually, this is my home computer.
That worked out great.
It's my home computer. So now... What the fuck?
As Ryan would say, you need to update the firmware, and this still has the Emerson logo.
Oh my God.
Okay, so time schedules, guys. In the E3, you have, just like the E2, you have a time schedule section in here where you can use time schedules. You could use time schedules for all kinds of things: turning on lights, turning on HVAC setbacks, lights outside, defrost, irregular defrost scheduling, like meaning if you need to shut something down like a 12-hour period, on random days, like a defrost wouldn't be really good for that, where you would kill and enable. So on the E3 at the top, you got your little S right there where it shows all your inputs and outputs. And then I don't remember what the next
the little S. What are you talking about, little S?
Yeah, the little S. Like to the right. See the little S? All the way to the right, the block. Nope.
You got to remember, I'm dealing with a flickering screen. I don't have my second screen.
Okay, so go to the time schedule tab, Brett. Next one. That's the floor page. Time schedule. Okay, so this is where it'll bring it up, and you can add a schedule. Okay, so it'll make you. This is your main schedule. So you got in here. You got your stat, whether it's in with on or off. And then you got your little wrench where you could add stuff to the tiles.
This one?
You got both wrench. No, the wrench on the tile. Tile, right there, down.
System?
No, the wrench.
I don't see a wrench. Oh, that wrench.
So this is where you would add stuff to the screen. So if you needed to add like your general, your inputs, if you had a bypass, maintenance overrides, scheduled events, start times, like anything you need to see on the screen to troubleshoot, this is where it would be.
Oh, okay. Why does it have multiple events?
So you could have multiple events.
Oh, okay. Like Kwanzaa. And yeah, okay.
Stop it.
I'm just saying, like different holidays, there's different holidays, so you can do different holiday schedules. That's all I meant. Jerk. Anyway, all right. So then associations, long name, and then inputs. Okay, so you can do emergency override, bypass on, demand. Let's see, maintenance overrides. What we got here? Oh, okay, start date and end date. So if there was some sort of holiday.
Correct.
Okay. And then outputs. What do we got here? Output, bypass time left, time schedule. What main tucos?
I have no idea what that one does. Like, I've never really messed with it.
Where is the question mark? I want to know what main tucos is. Was it main? Wait, is it tuckus? Like a butt? Yeah, tuckus. Butt.
Yeah.
Main tuckus. All right. Yeah, so we can do that. All right. And main tuckus. Anything else you want to add on here?
No. So we'll start going through it.
Okay. General?
Yeah.
Oh, it's telling me to save it. Sorry. So what kind of schedule you want to make?
This is make a lighting schedule.
Oh, edit. That would probably help. Lighting schedule main store. Okay. Done. Category. What do we got? Category. So lighting. Associations. No associations. So we're just gonna do normal days.
Yep.
And then emergency out. What would that be? That'd be if I don't know what would emergency out be. What's emergency out?
Emergency out would be your emergency output.
Oh, okay. If emergency input indicates override. Oh, okay. Gotcha. All right. Continue. Inputs.
Yeah. Trying to get on my E3.
Oh, you have one all set up already?
Yeah.
Okay.
Keep going.
All right. So then we're at inputs. So emergency override, if you wanted an override. I don't know. On the other one, on the E2, once you did this, you had to go into inputs until it's a momentary. So I don't know if maybe it's in the emergency. Okay. On the target. So that would be your emergency override, whatever you're going to make it. AI board, blah, 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 blah. And then put it on there, which board it is or whatever. So I don't know. So input 1. See if we have digital. Okay, unconfigured. unconfigured, digital. Okay, so English units. Okay, default, off, active state, on or off, and then inactive state, off, and then, okay, this is where you would make it a push button, momentary, right here. So instead of doing the whole momentary thing on the E2 or Ultra site, then you just do this, and that's set up like yonder. Okay, so now we have an emergency override. And this bypass could be anything. It could be, I guess you don't have to do a light level sensor if you had one in there for the bypass, but you could, I guess, if you wanted to. But you could have bypass for on and bypass for off. Schedule. So right now, I don't know why it says Tuesday. Oh, scheduled day out. Oh, that's because my controller has the wrong date on it right now. Right now, it currently says 6/14/22. I got to change that because I tried to get the new day password the other day. And I almost missed that. So he almost gave me the wrong date because of me. And demand shed, that would be, I don't know why. You wouldn't want to put demand shed, I think, on lights. Be like, if we're using too much energy, just shut off all the lights. Maybe if you shut off like a third of them or something.
Yeah, because that CO2 store I just started up, we're doing demand light shedding. So like at peak demand, like there's strip rows where there's double rows in the glass doors. So they'll go down to one strip row.
Okay. And then you could actually enable this off of whatever. You could do none enable, or you could do an enable where it will only enable for whatever reason. You know what I mean? With
this, so you have a hard enable, meaning like you could make it just a fixed on or off. You have the arrow where you would assign a input to it.
Correct.
So you have that in there. Now, this is your inputs. Now under your outputs. So you get your output and you get your schedule output, which I believe are the same thing. I always use schedule output. Yeah, so they're both pointing.
Well, let's see what it says here. Hold on. So output is just present on and off output if it reflects the override. If any overrides on the schedule will be set to null when loop is disabled. And then what does it say for schedule? It's just going to be on the schedule. The output is not affected by the bypass or override operations. So probably you'd want to do output then.
Yeah, I always use the output.
Yeah, so we don't want that one. We want this one because then you're doing it off the schedule anyway, and then you can use it for the bypass. So then this is where you would set it up then.
So the schedule out would just be schedule, just plain schedule. It's tied to the gas cooler fan. Make it real ignorant.
All right.
No, you already passed it. That's fine. So under the outputs, it was where you would, whatever you're controlling is what you would tie to that.
One shot digital.
Should be digital.
Digital.
This is nice on the E3 when you're doing this. I hated it at first because I thought it slowed me down. But it is nice when you're adding in an RO or an AI or DI when it just prompts you to set it all up and name it at the same time so you don't have to go back. Like in E2, you would set it up in ultrasite and it would ask you, okay, temperature, pressure, whatever it is. And then it would make it, then you'd have to go back into the input definitions and name it, which was like time consuming. This is so much easier.
Today's episode is sponsored by the RefraShield RDP Series differential pressure monitors from Westermeyer Industries, now available for transcritical CO2 systems in addition to other common pressures and refrigerants. When the filter element of your coalescing oil separator is contaminated, it can hurt your system's performance and efficiency. But how do you know when it's time to replace that filter? Wait too long to replace, and you could end up with a nasty filter blowout. But replacing too often can be a waste of time and money. The answer is installing a differential pressure monitor. The RDP Series differential pressure monitors, including the new transcritical CO2 model, are available now from Westermeyer Industries. To find out more information, email sales@westermeyerin.com. That's WESTERMEYERIN.com.
No, absolutely. All right, so we'll just save it as is. We're not going to change anything. Oh, wait, physical off. De-energize, physical on, energize. Wouldn't we want to do physical on? That's because that's talking about the relay, right?
It's energizing the relay, correct?
So let's not. Oh, so we want to de-energize. We want it because we're going to wire it to normally closed anyway, depending on how it's wired up. If that's a pilot relay or whatever.
Yeah, most lighting stuff has, from what I see, has pilot relays from the stuff we use.
So we'll just leave it as de-energized, and then we'll just power it to turn it off. You know what I mean?
Yep. And if you had to change it, this is how you guys would change it.
And then physical none. All right, so we want to leave it de-energized because then nothing would happen, and it would de-energize it, which would not power up the relay, right?
Correct.
Okay. We're not gonna put any delays in there because it's a fucking light. Okay. Cool. So done.
Yep.
I can see what main tuckus is. So the time is elapsed until the next change or state has occurred. Scheduled time that has elapsed until so it just tells you like how much, like the countdown, I guess, is the tuckus.
The tuckus. One of these called countdown.
Nice. Anyway, day schedule out. Oh, so you could send that to something.
Yeah, it's just telling you the day that it is, and then your whatever time it has in there. So it's not something you use every time. So maintenance overrides. So this is where you would put your maintenance overrides in. So if you had like a generator override that you were doing, you could do it here. You could do it in time schedule.
July 4th. I selected it. Oh no, I went July. No, it's not June. Damn it. Oh, July 4th. Okay. All right. What the hell? It won't let me select it and clear it out. See if it does it now. What the hell? Doesn't make any sense. Now. Here. All right, let's try this again. There we go. Click off the screen. And so if you were selecting like a certain holiday or whatever where you know it's actually off, you could, let's just say now that I know how to select the date, I can go back to this, pick July 4th, because we're doing some sort of lighting schedule, and then select the time, so 12 a.m. $12:01. Okay. And then basically end time would be, I could do the same thing, 12:01, do the same thing, but for July 5th. And then go over there, end time, and then just do the same thing. And then was this event on and off?
So it'd be your event on and off.
Oh, it'd be the same time then, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
There we go.
Yep. Maintenance overrides isn't the thing we use a whole lot. I don't really mess with them too much. Associations. So if you go into associations, so this is where you would, if you had like lighting zones.
Oh,
yeah. If you had lighting zones in here, you could do associations for that, for time schedules and stuff like that. Makes it a little bit easier. So,
did we add any? Because it's not even letting me.
No, you have to do the association in the application now, not in this.
Oh, so you have to then tie this application to this thing,
Mm-hmm.
and then it'll come up. Okay.
Yeah. So then you have system. This is showing your update rate. So if it's like lighting and it doesn't need to be super fast, 30 seconds is fine. If you're doing something crazy where you need a time schedule, 30 seconds may be not fine.
Wonder what the range is. Probably 2 seconds. It's usually what the.
So they knock it down to 1 second on a lot of stuff.
Really? All right. Let's see. Nope.
4 seconds.
Okay.
So alarms. So you got the bypass.
I would just do notice.
Yeah. So you got your bypass to on, bypass to off. So this is where you'd be tying like a proof in if you had a bypass proof on a lighting contact or something where like you threw in bypass, it should proof out and tell you that it's on.
Oh, so if you had like a proof, then we could say, hey, if the lights aren't coming on, if the light level sensor, blah. And then basically if it bypasses to off, we could just set it as non-critical because so what, the lights are going to stay on. You know what I mean?
Yep. If bypasses to on, it should be on. Then you
Yep.
get your input output status.
So hold on real quick. I drop down system category, lighting, and then lights broke.
Okay, now if you go to input output status, it's going to show you all your stuff, whether you got emergency override, inputs, outputs, whether they're on or they're off, what day it is, what time it is, when the next scheduled event is, when the TUCAS is doing your countdown. So this input output screen, I use this more than anything, especially more than the tiles. The input out, I think it's easier just looking at like line items of data, especially when figuring out like XM issues. It is look at other screens. So now if you go to generic alarms, so this is where you could add an alarm like this broke, fix, knock it off.
Okay.
Yeah, so then go to events, which is the last one.
Oh, okay. Glad I put my mouse in today. Where's events? Oh,
Right.
events over here. Sorry.
Okay, so this is where you're going to add your event. So add an event. Like this is what's going to fire it off. So add an event. Okay, you can name the event. So just name it lights on. Okay, then you're going to make your start and stop time. So say like 10 p.m. to...
Hold on. I got to add the E because Dylan's going to ridicule me. I'm going to get a text message next week and he's going to be like, do you know you misspelled store?
I could say very mean things, but I'm not going
No, don't do it. Okay, 6 o'clock.
Yep.
And then store closure at... So this is probably going to show military time. I'm going to assume. Yes.
Oh.
All right. So let's just say 10 o'clock.
Yep.
All right. So then Sunday. Here, we're not open Sunday. So Monday, Tuesday.
What is this, a Dutch grocery store?
No. All right. Here. Now it's a shower shopist one. Here we go. All right. So here we go. That's done. All right. Dave. And then there.
Okay, now you could also add another event to this. So let's say you had outside lights. Let's say I need the outside lights to be on from 10 p.m. to midnight, and then from 5 a.m. to 8 a.m. Like say like when they get there in the morning when they leave. So I need the outside lights. So you could add a second event to cover those other lights.
Does that mean that you'd have to add? Oh, sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, okay.
So you'd add an event. So see if you wanted one on from 1 in the morning to 4 in the morning.
Outside. I want today to end. All right. So outside lights. And then we'll do from here. We'll do 20. No, that's too late. Or it's too early. 6 o'clock. And then probably 6 o'clock in the morning. No. 7 in case it's a cloudy day. Okay. All right. And Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Oh, yeah, Sunday because I'm doing shower shops. Okay, save. What?
Oh, there's a conflict. So you got to add it within the. So go back down to there. I'm sorry. Yeah, just click on that.
Oh, so we got to do from 2200.
Yeah.
From 2200. Okay, since it's operating the same output, you can't do thing.
Correct.
Okay, so I'd have to do 9. I think we did from 9, so 9:01. Let's see if it has a conflict if I do this. Hold on. And then start. Oh, no, I'm going to have to. Oh, sorry. I got to do it this way. 9 first. And then from here, then I can go to 5 a.m. I think. Let's see if it gives us conflict when we do it. Save. Nope. Can't do that.
So here,
No.
click on the little hyperlink right down below. So to the left. Nope, down. We're almost there, right there. Click on that. Click on it.
I'm clicking on it. Nothing's happening.
A lot.
Here, I'm just going to do 605 or 601.
Here, let me share my screen.
Okay. Oh, shit. There we go. I got to press on my screen so I can see where you're at. Go ahead, add yours now.
Can you see the E3 now?
I can. We all can.
Okay, so on here, you get the same screen as Brett had. You had this time schedule, so you hit edit, because if it's not edited, you can't do anything with it. So you should be able to go into here. You should be able to add
like an inverse one.
you should be able to add another schedule. Oh,
That's not what you want to do.
no, it is not. So events, it's not duplicates. Wow, I just did this today and I don't remember how to do it. Okay, there it is. It was add an event. So
Yeah.
2 to 4.
Oh, you did it. What did you do different? Oh, what? Oh, you didn't pick up the whole time.
Yeah, you didn't pick up the whole time. So I added an event into here. So now this is a secondary schedule in there. So that's what you were doing wrong.
But it's still going to operate the same relay out then. Right?
Correct. Because now look, from 6 a.m. to 2200, it's going to be on. Okay, 2300 is going to be off, and all the way till 1 a.m. And then at 1 a.m., it's going to kick on till 3 a.m. and then maybe back off until this schedule picks back up.
Okay.
So it's an or.
Okay. So you really couldn't use it for outside lights then, because you're using it for. We did inside lights, so you couldn't do both essentially.
Yeah. So like I did outside lights. Oh, trippy. I did outside lights at another one. So like between 10, I think at 8:30 at night, the lights would come on and they would go till midnight when they would close. And at 6 a.m. it would kick back on again, or 5 a.m. it would kick back on again, and then it would bring the lights on till 6:30, and then by then they should be lighted up enough where they can shut the lights off. So
They stocking?
no, like outside lights.
Oh, outside. Okay.
Parking lot lights and like canopy lights.
Okay.
So like that's like the base of it, like that. But now, so we've done some other stuff. Which I'll bring it up. So this is some other stuff you can do with share the screen again. What you can do with shutting a circuit down for a certain amount of time. So if you can you see it?
No, because I need to add it.
Oh,
There you go.
okay. So if I'm back in this time schedule and I go to the main time schedule, so this right here, the wrench will bring you to the main time schedule. If I go to outputs and I go to my output, so like this one's tied to case logic 1. So if I add an output, so it's this little plus here, if you need more than one,
That's essentially your multiples.
Yep. Your multiple outputs.
So your
Okay.
Was this another logic, another like a flexible combiner, or just
No.
the regular?
It goes to case logic, case lights logic in. It's just case lights.
Oh, okay.
To a sensor control, I think. So because that went to the BX actually. Okay, on here, I'm going to an application. So this is A06 frozen food doors. So I could kill the enable. I could make a start defrost. I could make a rack fail. I could tie it to any of these inputs in here.
Gotcha.
So say if I'm doing, this is a sim. So if I'm doing this one, master defrost, reset. If I'm doing fast freeze, reset defrost time. But like I will do it on the enable for certain things. And I will take that and use it to disable the refrigeration. So like if I need to, at midnight, I need to shut down this box, like the fish table, then they need to de-ice the fish table all night. And then at 6 a.m. they need to turn it back on. We'll say they only do that on Sundays. On Sundays, I could use that and shut down that box so that they don't have to.
Oh, gotcha.
I would kill the enable on it. Like I know at Sundays, they're going to empty it. And that's one way to use a time schedule, like for stuff like that, or like zeroing out valves. So that's another thing we use them out for a lot. So if you're using like steppers for a whole back valve or an A9, you don't get to zero them out like you would in the EEPR. So an EEPR is going to zero every time it goes into defrost. So that way you don't lose steps. So like with that, you could use an enable and shut the valve for 10 seconds, 15 seconds, let it shut, and then completely zero out and overstep, and then take it out.
Like something that you don't use all the time, like a whole back valve. If you had an electronic whole back valve or something like that, you could basically use that time schedule to keep it enabled all the time.
Say once a
week for like 1 minute, just cycle. Because by the time it enables, give it enough time that it's going to close, right? So it takes 32 seconds for something that's 6386 if it's a Sportland valve. Because it has 6,386 steps. So 32 seconds in total, it's usually 200 steps per second. So you disable it for a minute. And then by the time it's open, closed, done, and then it's done.
That was a lot of data you just spit out like rapidly.
Sorry.
That was good. That was like Brett eye roll back good.
Yeah, I haven't been doing the eye roll.
I know.
I've been aware of it, I think.
That was one of those, oh shit. That was good. But yeah, that's one thing you could use a time schedule for. Or if you're zeroing out stuff, like we've had certain sites where like we had to reset the learning every week. Like because the load changes so much, like on production. So a lot of production rack stuff is not as common as like a supermarket where it's going to be all the time. So like on Sundays, I have a plant where we reset the load every Sunday. Reset the learning every Sunday. Every Sunday.
Why?
Because they change production, so like the rack runs differently.
Okay. All right. So instead of having to learn every single time for 24 or 48 hours, you basically, when they run a new load, like if they're doing ice cream or if they're doing ice cream and this, or you know what I mean? So then that way you can finagle it around so it just relearns it instead of taking its sweet ass time.
This place does printing and we're running chilled water. The rack is the condenser water for all the machines. For all these vacuum pumps. So we run like 63-degree chilled or condenser water to all these vacuum pump machines. And every week they run a different product through this. Mm-hmm. So they run a different production run. So every week we have to restart the learning on this thing. So it takes off and it takes the demand of what it is. Because some weeks the demand for a product they're running isn't that much. But when they're printing aluminum on beer cans, like the load changes like dramatically. Like that week it needs to be snappy.
Gotcha. Cool. Anything else you want to do?
No, so that's time schedules. I know you're wiped. I'm tired.
I'm so tired. Just so many things I want to say. That's all.
Monoblock refrigeration's the best.
Have a good night, everybody. Talk to you later. Bye.